From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Standoff between Montana Republican lawmakers and judges not cooling off at all. Coming up, a confrontation between a legislative committee and the state's chief justice coming up.
Bears near downtown and bears over on our popular trails. How to stay safe coming up.
Oh, there you go, people.
Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful morning. It is Wednesday, September 15th, just ahead of 6:30. Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell with you here. September 15th. We're in the middle of September.
Hard to believe.
Hard to believe. 4th of July is just around the corner, right?
It'll be here sooner than we know it. We've got to get through winter first.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So we've got, 8 months of winter still before that happens?
9. It depends on how that goes, yeah.
Temperatures sitting right now into the 40s and 50s. Not terribly windy early on. We do have some gusty winds out toward Judith Gap. We were talking about that out toward Livingston. Beautiful morning, though. A few passing clouds. Temperatures into the upper 70s. Wind is going to be the namesake word of the day for us through the afternoon. Gusty winds expected. We do have high fire danger. I'm going to talk more about that, of course, coming up in just a little bit.
Now, just remind you that it's also a 4-letter word, wind.
So is snow. Just
Right, you
saying.
are. We'll add it to the list. 6:30 now. Our top story this half hour. Montana Supreme Court Chief Justice Mike McGrath and a state judge from Helena appeared before a legislative committee yesterday to talk about the State Judicial Standards Commission. But it didn't take long for the meeting to become yet another forum for Republican lawmakers to air more criticisms of the role and the actions of the state's judiciary. MTN's chief political reporter Mike Dennison was there and has the story.
Chief Justice Mike McGrath began the meeting by saying an independent judiciary is the linchpin of our economy and society because it can resolve disputes impartially.
That is a significant advantage for those of us who live in the United States and in a free society where the courts are the place where people can resolve disputes in a civil way.
He also said Montana has many checks on its judiciary, such as election of judges, the ability to substitute judges in a case, and complaints filed with the Judicial Standards Commission. But some GOP members of the Interim Law and Justice Committee used the meeting to return to complaints aired earlier this year that the Montana judiciary is biased against legislative attempts to reform it. Senator Tom McGilvery of Billings pointed to judicial emails that belittled some legislative proposals.
Do you think even that was appropriate for some of the comments that were being said and some of the condescending remarks toward the legislature that were not just offensive to the legislature, but also just out of line?
And State Representative Barry Usher of Billings grilled McGrath over the justice calling a proposal to create a citizen panel that could remove judges the end of democracy. McGrath didn't take back those comments, saying the panel would have had the power to remove an elected judge for almost any reason.
It just meant that if there was a mob that was mad about something that a judge had decided, they could remove that judge from office, even though the judge is elected by the people. And yes, that is the first step in the demise of a democratic system.
The interim committee will continue its study of the current system that allows complaints to be filed against judges, which ultimately are settled by the Supreme Court. But it doesn't look like the bad blood between some Republicans and the judiciary is going away anytime soon. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
6:33 now. It's been busy in Yellowstone National Park in August. In fact, park visitation breaking records. Yellowstone National Park officials say the month of August, the most visited August in recorded history, with nearly 1 million recreational visits. Park officials say 921,844 guests visited the park last month. That's a 12% rise from the last busiest August in history, which was 4 years ago, 2017, during the year of the solar eclipse. So far this year, the total number of visitors still 40% higher than this time last year, with more than 3.5 million visits, and it's just September. Well, it's no secret that Bozeman's quickly growing, which means a lot of new residents may be living in bear country for the first time. Jane McDonald is one of those people. Looks at recent bear sightings and simple ways that you can stay safe.
If you're new to Bozeman or to the state of Montana, you may think that bears are only found in our back country. Well, the fact of the matter is this whole state is bear country. You may see a bear at any turn.
You want the bear spray really accessible, waist with bear spray, and this is a contraption where a target rushes at you.
Within the last week, there were 8 calls of bear sightings to the Bozeman Police Department and regular sightings on our trails.
I think it's analogous to swimming in Hawaii. We know there's sharks in Hawaii in the water, but I'm not going to not swim in Hawaii, right? And so what I would do is I'd be aware, I'd see if I dorsal fins in the water, I'd see if there's reports of sharks on this beach, and if there's not those things, I'm going to go swim. And I think it's analogous to being in our environment in the woods, that you're thinking, are there reports of bears around here? What would be a good deterrent to carry? And I can be bear aware, and I could still enjoy the outdoors like you should.
Hiking the M Trail or visiting Grotto Falls, it's important to carry bear spray and know how to use it.
This photo shows what was left behind when a mother bear and her cubs finished up a meal on South Wilson Avenue.
Keeping attractants stored securely is the best way to reduce negative encounters, reduce safety risks for people, and reduce chances of that bear having to be dealt with from a management perspective.
Bears are here and they're here to stay, but keeping your pet on a lead, getting used to your deterrents like bear spray, keeping your trash, your bird feeders in a secure spot are all simple ways to make sure you stay safe, as well as our bears out in the country. In Bozeman, Jane McDonald, MTN News.
Now, just a reminder, of course, bears right now are in hyperphagia, meaning they're packing on pounds of protein before they head into hibernation. FWP wardens say bears may be too focused on eating to notice you, so you need to make noise if you're on the trail. And as always, they suggest you travel in groups. Well, a handful of recent studies have found just how far the nation's students have fallen behind since the pandemic began. Educators are trying to help students bounce back from pandemic learning loss. Asher Karashi shows us how an innovative effort by one county is connecting local artists, educators, and administrators to produce content for kids in need of a knowledge boost.
Rolling.
Inside this production studio, the letter of the day is D.
Did you say dirt? You are correct.
Actress and bilingual storyteller Jasmine Cardenas is hard at work, infusing energy and passion into her performance.
I fell in love with Mr. Rogers and LeVar Burton growing up and watching Sesame Street and reading Rainbow, and I felt like they knew me. So I hope that the kids will see me as their friend.
Project Rainbow is a county-led early education initiative. It brings together 24 partner organizations to produce free video content and learning materials designed by educators to help fill the learning gap brought on by the pandemic.
What we've seen basically for 18 months of the pandemic, the kids have effectively lost 2 years of schooling.
Tony Preckwinkle, the president of the Cook County Board in Illinois, says the initiative was a way for government to step in and address learning loss across the geographic and demographic spectrums.
We've also asked our museums, our cultural institutions, to adapt content that they already have for our audience.
Wild and wonderful!
More than 24 collaborators, including zoos, forest preserves, and the Children's Theater, have created and bankrolled the content.
Look at his coloring.
They've already produced over 30 hours of educational learning material.
We really don't want children to passively watch and observe. We want them to participate. And so a lot of what we bring to our content is a way for children to really participate and engage fully.
You know what I find myself doing regularly on camera is pretending I see and hear them, so that when I ask them a question, I really do wait to hear how many different answers I can get.
Project Rainbow was the brainchild of Nick Shields. The father of 3 was searching for a way to engage his young children with screen time of quality during the pandemic.
As a father and seeing my kids at home and seeing some of the content that's around and available, we felt that there was a space for us.
What makes a fish?
That space has allowed them to create content around wildlife, science, astronomy, and music. Woo! It's already available on YouTube, Google Play, and soon Apple.
And we hope, of course, that our Cook County residents will take advantage of it, but the content is available to anyone who has access to the platforms.
And they already are.
There was like a school system in Thailand that was having all the kids watch this video. And so we suddenly are just finding that we are reaching children everywhere.
What we're trying to do at the end of the day is inform, inspire, and impact our kids and families, and it's my hope that families will feel the same way.
Dinosaurs can be big.
A window to the world for children everywhere to discover during a global pandemic.
Yeah, did you like that one better?
Reporting from Chicago,
Adios.
I'm Usher Qureshi.
Providing quality screen time. I like that. Now, if you're interested in checking out the free educational content, you can search Project Rainbow Cook County. You'll find it on YouTube or Google Play. Time for a quick break here. When we come back, you've seen it in grocery stores, meat prices still going up. After the break, learn who the Labor Department is blaming for the big price hike. But first, here's Nate Burleson with a look at what's coming up on CBS Mornings.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS Mornings, we'll speak exclusively to a Marine who was caught up in the Kabul airport attack that killed 13 service members. Also, a special essay from filmmaker Ken Burns before the release of his new documentary series, Muhammad Ali, why he says sports can show us who we really are as a country. And Grammy, Tony, and Emmy Award winner Cynthia Erivo joins us in studio. We'll discuss her debut album and children's book. We will see you at 7.